Most businesses, and especially think that service industry businesses start out with an idea. In this case, it was my wife's idea. She said, "Hey, you ever thought about opening a brewery and having homebrewed for a long time?" I said, "Yeah, most homebrewers dream of opening a brewery." So we relocated, quit our job, sold our home, took a dive, worked fast food, worked factory jobs during the transition, kind of doing whatever it takes to get the whole thing rolling. And that attitude of being willing to do whatever it takes is essential. Especially for a business that's focused on, again, a want and not a need. So you have to kind of set yourself up to get people to come spend money here when they don't have to.
In 1978, my parents bought this business. My mother and my stepfather at the time, they were looking for a way to retire out of the shop that he worked in and move back to where he grew up, which is Hesperia. About 7 years later, they decided it was time for them to retire altogether. So that's where me and my brother Terry came into play. At the time, we bought the shop from my parents. We were pretty fortunate. We lived right where we're standing in this building here. We owned a house that was here, and our store was out front, like we mentioned, where the motel is. So we had no cost of commuting to work or no fuel or, we didn't need much, and we lived pretty simply, and that allowed us to grow and grow and grow, and I'm pretty happy and pretty proud of the fact that how big we were able to become, but it was due to the fact that we live pretty simple.
The energy of a new business owner or someone that's rejuvenating their business is exciting, and people feed off that. They can feel the excitement and they want to be part of it, and so they're always going in to shop, even just to talk to the owner. You'll see that quite often as a lot of our businesses will stop in and chat with each other just to see what they have going, or they'll want to team up together, and that helps all of them together in making it a stronger community for people to come shop. And that's the other thing is, besides the business owner, it makes the excitement for the residents, the people out of the county. They come in because it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta check out this new business.
Our dream of becoming entrepreneurs was based on one sentence. We want to be better bosses than we ever had. We've all had bad bosses. And now being the boss, I totally understand how you could be very easily be portrayed as a bad boss, even when you're just doing your best to generate money, because your employees may not love you barking down their neck, but they do love getting a paycheck. And sometimes to do that, you have to bark a bit.
I think a lot of people go into business thinking that after just a couple of years, they can kind of step back and let it run itself and just haul in the cash flow. Well, I'm too nervous to do that, and I think you need to have hands-on, so I kind of attribute a lot of that to our longevity here. We've been here over 30 years, like I mentioned, and we're still doing fine in this big business world.
There is no black or white or no 10-step program to opening any business, but I would say the first step is to know your market and know if your product has a fit there. One thing that we did was visiting restaurants and breweries that were the similar size to what we were imagining opening, and doing that all over the place. And then as we gathered information about that, we were able to look at Newaygo and see if it'd be a good fit.
I don't for sure know if they know where all their avenues are to get everything. With the co-starter classes, they'll get them on the track on which steps they need to take and which way to start going, and who's going to be able to help them and kind of guide them in those directions. So that's where I would say that it would be very beneficial to them to be part of those classes. And it's not very much time they have to invest.
What Co.Starters is doing in providing a lot of the ground level work to get a person organized at the start. It's the start that's always so daunting, and that's what leads people being on the fence. It's kind of like, okay, I want to do this. Maybe I already have a business plan, or maybe I've already been selling cookies from my garage. I've seen that turn into a full-blown bakery shop. There's multiple small shops like that started in the garage, just like our home brewing did, and then went to a Main Street storefront in just a matter of a year or two. But that first step is organizing your strategy.
I've sent a few people your direction for that co-starter class, because if they have their idea, they need to get it out there. That's what keeps our economy going, and we certainly like to have the new ideas from energy from people. So we want them here. We want them going. And I wish I was younger to do it myself.